Yeah, we're good now, Pinwheel. We got it all, maybe, hopefully set up. I don't know. Next thing we got to figure out is make sure that the call system works.
The
I'm
call
kidding.
system.
I don't know. You're good.
Okay.
Look at the door.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. Yeah, we're here,
No, don't
Pinwheel.
go in. I know you like
Okay.
hanging out. Come on. Oh no, you need to go out.
Woo. Yeah, let her out. Hi, Daniel. Okay, guys. I am so sorry for my own confusion and errors. We're back running on everything. Whew, that took a moment to fix. Okay. I hope you're good, Daniel. Alright, let me get this one popping out. Yeah. I don't know, Jocular, if you said that to when someone else was sitting here or what. I thought I muted that sound. So what was that sound? That would be dressed up as a mermaid? That'd be funny. I definitely do not dress up as a mermaid. I think we'll leave you... I don't know where to put this one now, actually. The white bands. Okay, okay. I will say you guys are probably in the better spot, Jocular, as far as the chat and how that's going to go. Hey, Dolphin. Because that should get less traction, so we should see... like, you should see less spammy people. Hey, Goku. Oh yeah, we need some more LJ. Like, who doesn't like LJ? Am I right? Like, LJ was funny. Oh no, no, no. We just have a little icon on the side, and I did that on the wrong way. This way. Hey, Lizzie. We'll find out which way we all go here. I don't know. This is all fun stuff that I am figuring out. I was trying to run on the purple app, and it didn't, wasn't working. So I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll find out. Just make that large again. Go ahead and turn that on. Yeah, I know, Megan. Megan, can you go over and to the portrait stream, please? On the red app? I appreciate you. You'll see why when you get there. My mods will come in on TikTok eventually. Thanks. I always have spammers, Daniel. That's kind of the problem. So it just kind of happens. They're all vicious people. Yeah, we're getting it working now, Pinwheel. Sorry for all of the errors and confusions on all of that. Such is life, such is technical details. It's probably going to mean everything's going to be really low tonight, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Hey, Travis. I hope you're good. That's not what I wanted you to do. Thanks. Yeah, no, Megan. They might have missed you. Thanks, Travis. Ugh. Alright, there we go. Get that pinned. Pop on in here. You know, that's true, Goku. I agree with that. You clicked on so many links. I'm sorry, CK. Also, guys, I only see your ats in the chat, just so you know. I don't see your display names. So I just want to let you know that. I only see your ats. So I don't know what your display names are, so I can only base it off of that. I don't know why. Couldn't tell you why. It just happens, okay? You lost your main? This looks like your main. Oh, that's what you're gonna go live on. I got it, Dolphin. I'm caught up. We'll find out if anyone wants to call in. I know it's gonna take a moment for it to get going. But you guys see all the stuff that's coming out? Isn't it great stuff? India said, "No, I'm not working with you, Trump. You can continue to harass us and threaten us, but we're not doing what you want us to do." I appreciate India for that, but still kind of POSs in any other regard. Hopefully, Jocular. We'll see. We'll see if anyone comes in. I got you, Dolphin. If I see you on, I will definitely hit you up. Guys, you'll have to let me know if you can hear this caller when I answer the phone or not. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Yes, it is. Definitely heard that one. Yeah, Erica. They like to be inappropriate, and I bet he felt real good saying all of that. People that are dumb. Okay, everybody heard that, so no problems there. That's good. Heard that, unfortunately, yeah. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did, and I do regret it.
Okay. What's your, I guess.
But
Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
No, you go ahead. What's up?
So I regret my vote on the basis of a lot of things, but there is one thing I do support, and that is his support for Israel. I think that you can support him on one thing, but not on a lot of things. A lot of things that he does are completely disrespectful, not okay, terrible for our society in a whole. But I do support him on the basis of Israel. But I was just in a very bad time of my life, and I was very confused and misinformed. I'm a trans woman, and I don't know why I thought that it would be a good idea, and I blame myself for it every day, but I still do support him on that one factor, and I get a lot of hate for that.
Yeah, I think it's weird to support any country that actively commits a G-side.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna.
No, you're fine. I'm just that I understand where they're coming from. If you regret you vote, you're sorry. If you regret your vote, you regret your vote, and I think that's totally understandable. If you support Israel, that's what you want to do, and that just kind of is what it is, and that's fine for you. I personally couldn't agree with that, but that again, that's me, right? So like, and I will say this, like, if I'm glad that you've come to your senses on it on other things, so that's good.
Yeah, I would not personally. I would not call it a G-side on many factors, and I think it's a big thing that people are misinforming people about it, because I can give you a bunch of reasons.
I mean, here's what I'll say: is the ICJ, Geneva Conventions, they're all investigating what's happening because of claims brought to them for the investigation on G-side, and I think that's something that to take note of, is that they're actively being investigated, and Bibi Netanyahu is refusing to actually appear in court, even though he's been asked to multiple times. It's being called G-side by experts around the world that have been studying this, right? Mind you, the term first came up in the 1930s because of what was happening in Germany. So, like, there's a reason why it's called, well, why he's being investigated for it. But I mean,
yeah, well, I don't think that in a scenario where Israel is sending hundreds of thousands of trucks of aid into Israel, well, I would call it Israel, but into Gaza, and then sending leaflets, sending notes, and on the basis of trying to eradicate Hamas, when they're in a state of hiding behind their own civilians, instead of, I just don't think that victims hold hostages. I don't think that victims rape women and children and take them hostage. I don't think that. I think that if people there actually wanted a ceasefire, and when I say people, I mean Hamas, not the civilians. My heart goes out to the civilians every day. I pray for a ceasefire, but I also pray for a notice where Hamas surrenders and they give us back our people. You know, I just don't think that victims of a G-side would would do that. It just doesn't. It doesn't track. It doesn't click. I feel like you would give
we
the people.
we already have historical data that doesn't show that they do fight back, right? So like if you look at specifically the Republic of Congo, right, the DRC and Rwanda, after the main events that happened in Rwanda and the I don't want to mess up which group it was that started it. But the terrorizing organization fled to Congo, right? And so the ones that were the victims attacked back to Congo because they sheltered the group that started it in 1994, right? So you can make that claim, but that's not true, and we have historical data that shows that eventually the victims do fight
The
back.
claim. Can you reword my claim?
So you said
What
that
is
you
the
feel
claim you're
like
speaking of?
you said you don't feel like victims of a G-side would commit acts of rape, commit acts of violence against their people that attack them first, right? And we again, historical data disproves that.
I'm saying your victimhood goes out the window. I'm saying when you do that, that's not how that works. And then you hide behind your own civilians and you steal their food and you make fake videos to make the public think of you differently, and you do all of these terrible things. And then when we fight back and we go after your, I'm going to do quotes here, you can't see me, but government, which is a,
Oh no,
don't know if I
I
can say this,
completely
but
agree with everybody that the
theism.
age group should have never been voted in as their the governing body of Palestine. Absolutely not. I don't agree with that. Let's be clear. I deplore
Yeah,
anyone,
and
any terrorist organization.
definitely. And I also don't think that it's
Yes.
like at that point, how is it a G side when we are sending so many aid trucks and bringing people and helping people when we're going after a specific T group? And I just don't see it as a G side. If
Sure.
if Hamas gave our people back and they stopped sending rockets,
Why
and
was
they
the
stopped doing
IDR shooting off at the civilian aid group lines?
I'm sorry.
Why was the IDR or the IDF, sorry, shooting into the crowd of the civilian aid lines?
On let me Google that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Can you give me a date?
This was happening since May, since they first started. I remember what the. Hold on. Let me put
At
this off real
food
quick.
trucks or food or
No,
civilians
the
around it?
civilians that were waiting in line, because a group that was technically sponsored by the UK and the United States, they went in there and not only did the volunteers shoot into the crowd, but also IDF did as well. Let me see. There's so much to go through, and this was prior to that
Okay,
shit.
I see one from Al Jazeera, which I'm not.
Oh no, I agree. Al Jazeera is going to be severely biased when it comes to Israel and Gaza. I agree with that entirely.
Here we are. Here we are. NPR. That's pretty biased. No, unbiased.
And this, yes. I need to delete all of that. That's way too much.
Okay. I'm reading this. I apologize.
We have New York Times that report that even Israeli military officials have shown that there is no proof that Hamas actually stole UN aid. Let me open that link.
Well, there's videos of it. There's videos of
Yeah,
people
and
with
then Israeli officials
guns.
have come out and said that there is no proof Hamas has actually stolen routinely UN aid. So you can say that, but then they've also come out and said against that, and that was just on July 26th, where they actually said they were
So you
wrong.
pick and choose when.
No, I'm
Okay.
just.
So you pick and choose. When you choose
Anyone
to
can
believe
make
the
a
idea.
video, man. That's what it is. GHF. Thank you, Paz. The group was called GHF, but no, ma'am, it's not me picking and choosing. It's the Israeli officials speaking out against Bibi Netanyahu. who's the main person saying everything that's going on in theory, right? He's the one that's saying that this stuff is happening, but other military officials, not the governing head of state, is saying something different. And I think that's important to know.
All right. Well, if the IDF is shooting at, or pew-pewing, I'm sorry, at civilians getting food, then I completely stand against that with my whole heart. I'm going to do some more research on that. But I think that Hamas needs to be eradicated or needs to stand down, and our people needs to be given back, and then the war will end. Then it's done. You know what I mean?
Except Bibi Netanyahu is the one that ended the ceasefire originally. He's the one that decided to not extend the ceasefire agreements at all. That was Bibi.
Well, Hamas has broken ceasefires over and over and again.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, when they're like, no, we want to continue to give you back our hostages that we have, but we need to have the agreement still in place, and Bibi Netanyahu says, no, I'm not going to continue the ceasefire agreement, then I mean, I don't blame them for not wanting to try to actually do that then. Like, I understand why they're saying no.
Hamas for not giving back hostages? Why should you have to?
In the case where they're saying that, hey, because guess what? Israel still has Gaza and Palestinian hostages as well, and they're basically still holding them captive. So, no, like, if they're saying trade for trade, then yeah. And if they want, like, it's the same thing for us, for the United States, making agreements with, let's say, for example, to send all of the individuals that we sent to CCOT back to Venezuela in exchange for American citizens that are held in captivity or were in prison in Venezuela, to send them to the United States, including someone that committed 3 murders who now is just roaming the United States free because of Donald. Sorry, that's a whole little tidbit. It's the same there. Like, it's a tit for tat. Like, there's a reason why they're doing that.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, I'm getting calls after calls. Sorry. I still don't believe that it's a G-side. At the same time, like, yes.
You can say that, but kids are literally starving. Starvation has been added to the categories of what constitutes the actions. And again, let's be clear that they've already proven and said, and now I'm just going to make sure to put it on the screen here. Again, it's from the New York Times. Oh, I got to move that down here.
I lost your page. What's your page?
Oh, it's Mermaid RE0. This can go bigger. All
Mermaid
right.
What?
Mermaid RE0.
RE0. Okay.
There's literally no proof that Hamas routinely stole UN aid. Because that was part of their claim.
No, I'm saying that Israel is supplying them with aid.
Yeah, now they're having to do airdrops because trucks were supposedly being attacked by H group. And I don't disagree with you that they might have attacked some of it, but they haven't attacked all of them. And also there's other issues for why it's also considered a G-side. Oh, it's actually committing war crimes. You are aware that attacking journalists is considered a war crime?
I do.
Okay, well, the IDF is inherently guilty of that. They've killed over 600 journalists since October 7th. I've seen that on video.
Yeah. I've seen that on video. I don't support that.
Yeah.
I do see. My one question for, Hamas is, why aren't they attacking Egypt when they're not supplying aid either? They're just. I have so many questions, but at the end of the day, I don't even know what to say at this point.
You're fine.
My one. The reason I joined your live is I wanted to point out the fact of my regret for the vote.
Yeah.
And my one standing opinion.
Finally found it. Here we go. I finally found what I was looking for, and I just gotta get it open on a different tab because this stuff likes to. This is from Reuters, July 21st, 2025. And Israeli fire kills 67 people seeking aid in Gaza. So it was 67 Palestinians were killed by Israeli fire as they waited for UN aid trucks in northern Gaza on Sunday. Of course, it won't let me scroll further because of subscribe to Reuters, it tells me.
So what do we think that Israel should do?
They need to negotiate a ceasefire.
I'm not saying doing this, but just saying.
No, I mean, it's simple. They need to negotiate terms of a ceasefire. And honestly, I feel like even, at least at minimum, the Gaza Strip needs to be a recognized state of its own.
Okay, well, okay. Firstly, as for ceasefires, we gave many ceasefires. Each time our people have been returned, or our hostages have been returned in body bags.
Right, because they were already unalived, unfortunately. I don't agree with that occurring, but I'm like they were already previously unalived. So if they were unalived, let's say let's just give an arbitrary date, June of 2024, but the age group kept the bodies in order to deliver them back to Israel so they could go back to their families. We can't now just all of a sudden on August 2nd, 2025, make them alive again, right? I'm not condoning the fact that...
Right, but why should we believe Hamas to agree to the ceasefire physically? And when I say physically, I mean not just verbally saying, okay.
Because when the one that was instituted at the beginning of this year, the biggest blunder that they made was returning the body, or giving them a body of a Palestinian in place of, I can't remember the woman's name, but giving the wrong body, right? That was the biggest blunder that they made, and they immediately sought to correct it. And so that showed a willingness in order for them to actually do it, right? Even whether or not you agree with it, it showed a willingness that they wanted to continue to move forward with it. Because they immediately took steps to correct it.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that. And the fact that you're advocating to not have a ceasefire is weird to me as well.
Yeah, I think that we should just have our people back and it'd be over.
No, because they're not going to stop. Like, neither side is going to stop. That's like living in a dreamscape. If you think that unless there's actual terms that can be agreed upon, that magically... do you think that the IDF and Bibi Netanyahu is going to stop just because they get their people back? No, we have proof of this. The citizens within Israel, have spoken out harshly many times since March against Bibi Netanyahu and his refusal to institute a new ceasefire because of the fact that they want the people that are alive back. The families want closure for those that were killed, right? They want closure for their families, and Bibi's saying no, 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 constantly, right? So even because you live in America, so you don't live in Israel, right? But when the people in Israel are saying, we want our family members back, do something, but he's refusing to do it, then you need to do a ceasefire. Because, again, I don't agree with any terrorist organization. Hamas is shit, and they need to be voted out of their governing system, but I don't know who could take it over within Palestine and then prove that they're not a part of the age group. That's going to be the next biggest thing, right? But no, they need assurances that the civilian population isn't going to continue to die if Hamas surrenders and gives up their hostages or returns the bodies.
So if Hamas surrenders today and our hostages are given back,
I don't think that they should. No, they should not ever give an unconditional surrender. If they are the governing body, let me be clear, if they are the governing body, then it's also their job to advocate for the citizens within the Gaza Strip and say that they need rights and that they need to be recognized.
It
doesn't matter.
Before. When they hand, no, it does matter. When they hand little bags of food to children, to take a video of them crying, to post it, to make everybody feel bad, and then snatching it from them, walking away. When they kill their own civilians, or unalive, I apologize, and when they do such terrible things, how are we supposed to think that they should have a right to do anything for their land or for their people that they don't even like? They don't even like. So it makes no sense at all. And I'm saying that what needs to be done is Hamas needs to surrender, hostages need to be given back, and a new government in place.
Here, tell me what happened in the Gaza Strip on October 6, 2023.
What happened? You tell me. Let me see.
No, I want you to tell me. Did the IDF not go into Gaza and attack civilians? Did they not kill people on October 6, 2023, which is what actually sparked what was occurring on the next day, what occurred the next day?
No, it's not, because they...
Oh, no, okay, so just to be clear, you're saying that no one from Israel went into the Gaza Strip and attacked on October 6, 2023?
I'm saying they planned it for years and months.
Nope, doesn't matter, ma'am. You can claim that they planned it. You can make that claim. But the point is, Israel went in and attacked. Israel went into the Gaza Strip and attacked their civilians on October 6, 2023, the day before. They attacked civilians. I already said it. They did not just they did not just attack the H group. They went in and they had killed children. And they were supposedly going after the H group. And I do not agree with the events that occurred on October 7th where Hamas attacked back and also killed civilians. I don't agree with that. But they killed women and children on October 6, 2023. The Israeli military did that.
How?
No. If you don't know this, that's your problem because you're fed apparently a different kind of propaganda. You can look it up yourself.
No, I'm asking you how they were killed.
With guns, and then they were also strangled personally with someone's hands.
Can you show me any proof of that?
How about you look it up yourself?
I'm not seeing anything. October 6th, 2023.
Yeah, that's because you live in a state of propaganda, apparently.
No, I googled it. I'm seeing portal current events 2023. Syrian civil war. I'm seeing, what is this? This is just a calendar app. I'm seeing one Al Jazeera post saying my son was killed on October 6th. That's the only thing I'm seeing.
Yep, they still did.
Let's see.
So, the West Bank was attacked on October 6th. Yep, so Labib Dumadi was shot and killed by an Israeli settler.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one particular one that was reported on. And you can find that specifically on Reuters. The first one that popped up was on Al Jazeera. Well, I'm not paying for Reuters right now while I'm actively live, so yeah, you can pay for them, since we both agree that Al Jazeera is not the best resource when it comes to Israel and Gaza. And KJT, you're welcome to ring in. Thank you for the 5.
Sorry, I'm reading this.
There you go. I am, listen. I'm gonna let you do research on your own time on this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you go since you do agree, but you're welcome to send me a message or something on TikTok or, well, you can on YouTube, so. But yeah. You have a good one.
All right, that's good.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Do you still support him?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Wait, am I on air?
Huh?
Am I live right now?
Yes.
Oh, crazy. I just think Donald Trump's great. I love him. Putting all the libs in their place.
So you stand for nothing?
Why do you support Biden and the Democrats? Like,
I don't.
or
I'm not a Democrat, and
sure,
nor am
sure.
I a
Let me rephrase.
liberal. So
Yeah,
no,
no,
I
no,
don't
totally.
support the Democratic Party. I'm just being critical of the active governing body that is in the White House and also the majority in the Congress.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about that then. Like,
No,
generally
this is
speaking,
my
like,
stream, so how this works is I ask you questions, you answer those. I'm not required to answer your questions directly about my own self.
well, that's what I was asking you about. Was
No,
your
I'm
belief, and what
asking
you wanted
why
to ask.
you actively support Trump.
um, I think I told you. I like the guy. He's fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he wants to make
just
America great again.
vibes. So
Vibes, his policies.
you can't quantify the exact reason why you actively support him?
Do you have any other questions?
I literally asked you one
And
that
I
had a
answered it.
question mark at the end. You did not just answer the one I just did.
Was the question mark vibes? Question mark? Was that the
No.
question? Okay, go ahead. Try again.
Yeah, so are you able to quantify the reason why you still support him?
Probably not in terms that you'd love. I just think I think he's a good president. He has my vote.
Got
My
you.
family's been voting Republican for my entire life. My peers vote Republican. The media I ingest is right wing.
Yeah, they never get it, CK. Got it.
What was that?
So I just want to be clear that you stand for nothing because you actually can't state a valid reason for why you actively still support him. Just, oh, he's my president, I voted for him, so I still support him. So what I advise you to do is do some research. Call back when you have a valid reason.
Wait.
Thoughts and
Wait a second.
vibes is not
Why
a
don't you guys
valid
have a
reason. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah,
How old are you?
33.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yep,
Do you still support him?
yep.
Why is that?
Because he puts America first.
Okay. What does America First look like to you, and how is he achieving it?
You would guess you would understand in a way of like
I tried
past
London.
the past presidents have
Nope,
kind of
just
bended
now.
the will.
Nope, just right now is what I'm asking
Right
for.
now?
Like,
Right now?
what does it look like to you? And then can you explain it further? I thought I had already done that.
What it looks like to me is finally that we're showing that the U.S. is not to be just taken advantage of, as far as our military and our freedoms that we have here in our country. A lot of other countries don't seem to like the freedoms that we have in our country. And finally, a president such as Trump is showing that, hey, we're free to do what we want here. And because of that, look at the military power we have acquired. Look at the technology we live with. Look at the fresh water and food source that we're able to stand without having to rely on other countries. A lot of other countries rely on us to even survive. So it's finally good to have a president that says, hey, we're the reason you guys are still, eating and drinking water.
Is your claim that, like, America runs the world?
It's a fact that America runs the world. You don't think
I
America runs the
fucking
world? Who do you think
cannot.
runs the world? Who runs the world to you?
Multiple governing bodies across the entire world, sir. And KJT, I'm not gonna call you back. I don't even listen to any voicemail, so I'm sorry, man. You're just gonna have to try. Okay, so I just want to be
Multiple
clear. All right.
Multiple
Bando
countries?
says
Talking
China
about the United
does.
Nations?
Yeah, if we
Is
just
that
look
what
at
you're
the
talking about?
G7, the industrialized
The
nations of the
United
world.
Nations, right? Who just all
No,
increased their
did I
military
say the
power.
UN or did I say the G7? Which one did I say? Did I miss that?
I
Am
didn't
I
hear you.
confused?
Must
Well,
have broke up on my phone.
maybe it's because you were trying to overtalk me.
No, okay. Well, I apologize if I came off on that. I must have misheard you. But
Sure.
yeah, America is definitely the number one supplier of a lot of things for this whole earth. I mean, you think it's funny, but if you were to live in Russia, you don't have access to half the amount of technology that you have here.
Then why are we a net importer and not a net exporter?
Because we use all the technology and the resources of every other country to make things better and greater. Why does China copy everything that we do? They copy all of our stuff.
I'm pretty sure that, like, so for example, okay, so let's be clear, guys. My other chat, not TikTok, my other chat literally hates me, right? The majority of them hate me. And they're all saying that you're wrong. Oh,
Okay.
it's already subscriber only, guys. Like, just so you know, the chat's already there. Like, they're already saying you're wrong. America does not run the world, sir. Like,
America definitely runs the world.
so again,
Then tell me what
do I
other
need you?
country
Do you
runs the
need
world?
to can you explain to me the difference between an importer and an exporter?
But those are only products.
Can you explain to me the difference between importing and exporting?
Yes, 100%.
What is importing then?
Bringing things in from other sources.
Cool. What is exporting?
Giving out your sources to other means.
Cool. So the opposite of importing. Great. Yeah. So let's be clear again. The United States is a net importer, meaning we bring stuff to us. We don't send out stuff. So if we were actually running the world, sir, we would be sending out all of the stuff. We would be the ones sending it out.
Yeah, but that's products only. I'm talking like.
Unfortunately, he
If you
totally
would
is
have
London.
to put a word on it, it would be wealth or the value of the currency.
I like that one too, Megan. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, there's actually a song for this on Who Runs the World.
What kind of song?
Who Runs the
Is it like one of
World?
them parodies?
No, there's actually a song. Let's try this. Who Runs the World?
America.
Who Runs the World? Girls. That's actually what it says. That's actually the name of the song. Or that's actually like the song and everything. Like, even the men in the chat are understanding it.
Okay, well, I mean,
Screw.
that's not.
Okay.
That's not like an opinion that can be decided on a man
It's
or a woman.
literally a
runs the world.
song.
I can't believe this.
And thank you,
I'm not talking
KG,
about
again,
songs.
for
I thought we
KJ.
were talking about why Trump is good.
No, it's what's the title of my stream? Or the background, sorry.
Did you change it recently?
No, what's the background say?
Isn't it like why is Trump the lesser of two evils?
Not even close.
Okay. Well, I don't know what your background says because I'm not looking at your background right now.
He told you to ask him a question and he failed in his answer. Yes, CK, you are correct. Yeah, so it's literally, I don't support Trump. Why do you not? Why is Trump the lesser of two evils?
Right. Well, you would rather have someone who's just like
I'm not here. Let me be clear. Let me be very, very clear. I don't know how many times I have to continue to say this in all of my lives, but I am not here in any way, shape, or form to rehash the 2024 election and then who inevitably won that election, right? We all acknowledge that Donald Trump was the one that was inaugurated, right? His election results, the election results were certified on January 6th. And then he was inaugurated on January 20th. We all acknowledge that in the entirety. So I'm not here to say which candidate was the best one. That was what I was running prior to November 5th. We are now on August 2nd, 2025. It is ridiculous for people to continue to be like, why did you vote for Trump? That doesn't matter anymore. It's why are you still actively supporting him, considering all the shit that he's done.
And I said that, and my answer was because he
runs the world.
America.
Yeah, just weird.
No, I didn't say he runs the world. I said America runs the world. America's full of people. We are one. We are not. It's not Trump who runs the world. Trump does like maybe 20% of anything. He's
Still
got
only
people
6 months.
behind him, and then they have people behind them. People run the world.
It's not even a debate, AZ. I don't debate people on this app. I have conversations.
Yeah, so my conversation
So,
stands
let's try this
Trump
really
is
quickly.
doing
What's the
good.
population size of the United States of America?
Like the number?
Yeah, that's what population size
I don't know.
means.
I don't have that number on my head. I don't know.
What's
not
the
gonna guess
population
either, 'cause
size of, let's just say
I guess
China?
like 100 million. I guess like 100 million or a billion or something like that.
Of which country? I've now asked 2 questions.
What?
Oh, gosh.
What was your question then?
We have 346 million in the United States of America. What is the population size of China?
I don't know, a billion?
Yeah. What's the population size of India?
Oh, there's a lot of them. I think it's similar to China, right? I'm not too sure. I don't know population numbers. I don't study demographics that way.
Thanks, Golden. They are in fact this dense.
What does that have to do with? What does population have to do with running the world?
Because we don't. The only thing that we're first in is military, which China is very close behind us, right?
No, they're not.
Based off of our own military intelligence, yes, sir, they are. Okay, you can say that they're not, but our own science, our own military intelligence says that China's going to catch up or pass us by 2028. By 2028. Holy shit.
When was the last time China was in a global war?
Dude, you can't even acknowledge basic facts. You can't even acknowledge basic facts. You can't even acknowledge what our own military intelligence says. Our military intelligence tells us that they're going to catch up to us by 2028, which also means that, yes, while they haven't been particularly involved in a major world war, sure, we agree with that, right? That while they haven't particularly been involved in a major world war, that means that their military might has outpaced our growth that we've had.
But you're going off just military personnel and vehicles and all that stuff. That has nothing to do with like.
Oh my God, you're
actual
so
fighting.
Just, dude. And how many military members have actually saw active combat in the United States of America? Like active duty military members? Because last I checked, while we have people deployed in combat zones, we're not in any active war zones.
I mean, just recently we bombed Iran. That's an active military. I mean, you know how many people that takes?
You said war.
No, you asked me how many active military people
Have seen war.
Yeah, just a good chunk of them just saw what we had to do with Iran.
Where you mean? Let's be clear. So
And
you mean where there was no
I can't
skirmishes?
believe this.
Thank you,
We could even throw
KG.
Yemen in there as well because we beat them up too.
Oh, so is now Yemen is war? Are we in war with Yemen?
No, I never said.
Oh, well, that's what I
said you
asked
could
for.
include them in
That's what
because
I
it was
asked
so-
for. I asked for war, so
God.
you're just referring to drone
What's the
strikes?
definition of a-
So you're
what's the
just
definition
referring
of
to
a length,
drone.
then?
I just want to be clear. You're just referring to drone strikes?
No, we didn't drone strike Yemen. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Do you not know what happened?
I'm done. I'm done. I can't deal with that. Oh, I believe you have Bando. I said active duty. Like, let's see. You can say that, KGT, but I just want to be clear again, KGT, and thank you again for the
I
5.
can't believe this.
You can call them a joke, but they're still projected by our own military intelligence to catch up to us by 2028, if not sooner. Yes, more than China. Yep. Mm-hmm. Just saying. That was thoughts and vibes, guys. It's all just vibes. It's all just vibes. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep, this is KJT7971, also
Awesome.
known as Omega Rata.
Okay, cool. Give me just 1 second, okay?
Yep.
Thanks, man. TikTok, I'm gonna mute you real quick. Okay. If you guys are here on YouTube, sorry, I was trying a new setup today, and I just want to be clear that all of the background noises, I can't stop them now that we're actively streaming, so I do apologize for all the background noise. I've tried like 6 times, restarted it. It's not letting me turn off those notification sounds, so I'm sorry. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, though. I don't know which side I'm on anymore. Okay.
Nope, not. I just happen to randomly.
That's usually how it happens.
cross it.
That is usually
And
happens. I just want to say one thing to my.
I would only subscribe if she can be salient.
Anyways, I wasn't done with my PSA.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Normally I let you guys know when I'm done. Anyways, over on TikTok, if you guys can, I see a lot of grayed out heart me's. Go ahead and send your daily heart me, and then also, guys, don't forget to go look at my top pin video. Oh, Adriana, thank you for the 20. I'm not done yet, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Adriana, thank you for the 20.
Okay.
Thank you for the 20, Adriana, on the green app. Just said for cooking caller, the last guy, not you, because you just got here. So I do appreciate that. Thank you, Adriana. And again, yeah, guys on TikTok, remember to send the heart me and then check my top pin video so you guys can see what we're running the entire month of August. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience. Why do you still
apologies.
support Trump?
Well, I'll tell you just like this, okay? If the choice was between anyone else and Trump, we would still be dealing with establishmentarian garbage and the deep state. Okay, I'm a former staff sergeant of the U.S. Army, and I had clearance, so I could actually tell you that the deep state is real. You're basically talking about unelected bureaucrats who are appointed to positions, government, GS civilian statuses, and basically when a new administration comes in, right, you're supposed to be able to get rid of, whomever is at the top because they are appointed, opposed to just being some type of job. In fact, government is not necessarily supposed to be a career job to begin with, okay? It was never intended that way. But we could thank FDR for that garbage. However, the fact of the matter is we would still be dealing with the deep state nonsense. We would still be dealing with the Democrats stealing our tax money and putting it into their coffers for their political action committees through USAID and a whole bunch of other stuff. In fact, we would actually end up with a continuous hegemony of the Democrat Party funded by tax money, unsolicited or without the consent of the public. Okay? So the thing is, everybody wants to talk about the Epstein stuff. In fact, I'm going to address that one guy who basically tried to call me out on Epstein.
Somebody in the chat said something to you?
Yeah, somebody in the chat. Yeah. The whole Epstein thing. Okay,
don't say that name. Sorry, TikTok is super duper sensitive. TikTok educational purposes only, and just say E or just say his first name, okay? Or I'm sorry,
his first name.
It's Jeff. Just say Jeff. Just say Jeff E. Just say Jeff E.
The whole Jeff
E.
The whole Jeff thing, that is an atrocious thing that he has done. However, the problem is, and I'll tell you this right now, my issue with Trump is that he talks before he thinks. Okay, that's my only issue.
I can't believe this.
And he had basically sold a wolf ticket to his supporting base by mentioning anything about the Jeff files or whatever the case may be. Do I condone any of it? No. In fact, it is a red herring to even believe that them two were even involved. In fact, if you actually look back into the history of things, he kicked Jeff out of Mar-a-Lago, okay, because he was hitting on the younger staff members at Mar-a-Lago. Therefore, I don't think he had anything to do with it. However, I do believe that because of how tricky as I like to call them, the demo KKK rats.
Sorry, you can't say the triple K either in any way, shape, or form. TikTok is super sensitive.
Okay.
TikTok educational purposes only.
Okay, I'll just call them the demon rats, as I normally call them.
Don't. Just be respectful. Just say Democrats. Just say Democrats.
Let me tell you something.
I'd prefer it if you don't.
I can't be respectful to a party that has gaslighted and blew smoke up my people's rump for the past 60 years. Okay? Telling us that they are give us a little bit of something, just enough to shut us up, not enough to make a difference. I live in Detroit. Detroit has been run by these clowns since the 70s. And guess what? Detroit's pretty much falling apart. Nothing has been done. It's thanks for the vote, N-words, see you in 4 years. That's my opinion of them.
Yeah, Jocular TikTok is crazy. Jocular said military spending needs to be placed towards troops and advancement. It is spent far too terribly presently. The money isn't going to the right place. And I think he said that directly towards you. And thank you, Hebs, for the 2 as well.
Well, you know what the thing is? Okay.
I can't believe
no other country
this.
on this planet spends. No other country, including China, on this planet spends as much on their military as we do. Okay? Even with just bare minimum spending. Okay, so that being put into perspective. Okay, that being put into perspective, even if they have some type of slush fund accounted for the military, there's also tertiary programs within the military, or should I say the civilian side,
TikTok, get the likes up to 50,000 in the next 5 minutes, or we're going to sub only.
Money goes to that, opposed to actual armaments of what have you.
Okay, so basically, this is what I heard for your argument for why you still support Trump. Republicans good, Democrats bad. Blue bad, red good.
No, that is a straw man.
That's not a straw man. I'm literally breaking it down. It's not a straw man. I'm just breaking it down to the simplest thing. I'm not even asking you to argue it. I'm not even why are you raising your voice, dude? I have headphones on. I can hear you clearly. I don't need you to raise your voice. And thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. So I just broke it. I wasn't trying to argue it. is that this is what I understood because you yapped for 6 minutes. I barely said anything except to tell you to stop. Let's see. You basically said you were arguing from a position of authority, right? Or you were trying to do an appeal to authority, which is also a logical fallacy. Sir, when you say something, let me be clear. When you say, I know because I've had security clearance, then you are trying to make an appeal to authority, which again is also a logical fallacy. So if you want to try to say that I was using a straw man then, sir, and that's also a fallacy, then you are also using a logical fallacy by doing an appeal to authority, by saying, I was in the military, I had security clearance, right?
And
you're said that.
Ignorance. Appeal from an ignorance fallacy.
That's not even a fallacy.
Actually, it is. It is. Look it up. Look up appeal from ignorance fallacy.
Thanks for paying me just so you could like prove something fucking stupid. I don't even. What the fuck? Thanks, Ninja. Yeah, there are varying levels of security clearances. Oh, thank you, Realian, for the 99. Very first super chat on a live stream. Thank you. And no, Greg, it's not a cult. What? Jocular, I support massive military spending so long as it is spent wisely, constitutionally, and with the goal of having the biggest and the strongest. I agree with that. That was a whole lot of words to get to nowhere. Thank you, Tao, for the 190.
I can't believe this.
We're gonna open this back up. Thank you, Tao. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
How old are you?
20.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah. This is, actually, how do I introduce myself here? Start with my name. I guess Alex.
Okay. How old are you, Alex?
21.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't vote for anybody, but I do support him currently.
That's okay. If you wait 30 minutes, there will be a stream that pops on, and he talks to everyone as long as they say that they support Trump. I like talking to voters who still support him. But thank you, man.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't hang up on you, did I? My bad if I did. It's a really odd comment, Bobtail.
I can't believe this.
Hello?
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
20. I tried calling before. I was going to argue for Trump, though.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, but I don't know if that doesn't count as supporting them.
So I personally only like talking to voters who still support him. If you wait 30 minutes, there's a stream that's going to go on. Politics. He talks to all Trump voters. Or all Trump supporters.
Okay.
So go to him. I just like people that also use their constitutional right to vote. So that's all. It's just a me thing.
Yeah, I mean...
Thanks, man. Sorry. I like talking to people who voted. So, and I think that's really funny, London. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 30.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Do you mind if I say something else?
Yes, I mind a lot. Did you vote for Trump?
You mind a lot? Why?
Okay. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. People are wrong. So, something fierce. Every time I hear this is, my brain defaults to story of a girl. That's funny, Jocular. I'm done. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just want to talk to voters who still support their own vote. I don't know why that's hard.
I can't believe this.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. How old are you?
30.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
100%.
Okay. Do you still support him?
Absolutely.
All right. And yes, Jocular, yes. Okay. So what's your main reason for still supporting Trump?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. All of the government cutting that we're doing, the deportation of all of the illegals and criminals, the tax cuts that he's giving out to the businesses to allow us to pass that down to our employees, the BBB. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff.
Okay, where do you want to start? I asked you for your main thing.
Pick one.
How much money was actually cut from the budget?
Total, around, what is it, 1.3 trillion?
Wrong.
Oh no! Look at.
Do you know how we actually? Do you know how we actually?
$1.3 trillion in deductions. Actually.
Yeah, based off what, Doge.gov?
No, that's not. I'm not even counting Doge.
Then what are you referring to?
Look, I'm referring to the savings that we're going to make just alone from the BBB. That's like 1.3 trillion dollars, and then you got to think about all of the tariffs that we're collecting, all of the incentives that is being passed around. I mean, your argument is essentially what, that Trump's bad for America because there's some tariffs and we're deporting people that are not supposed to be here. Like,
that's a bold assumption.
I mean, that's the run of the mill argument that.
No, that's just your assumption. Hey, I have a idea that this might be a one that I don't know might be new to you, but let's start a conversation by not lumping me in with whoever you've ever talked to before. How about that?
I said, what is your argument? What? As in, like,
yeah, so you're assuming my argument before I would even make it, right? So if we also look at the BBB, like specifically on what they're supposing to cut, we're still going to add at least $3.3 trillion on top of what they're cutting, right? And that's after we take in the deductions that they're supposedly making.
Which is the average increase, which is around the average increase over 10 years of any president over the last 15 or 20 years, right?
Yes, but not from one bill. This is from one singular spending bill, right? And then we still have the Senate actively right now. We still have the Senate. Budget, right? We still have the Senate. No, this one is specific. It's not even a 10-year budget, sir. You don't even know how this works. We still literally have the Senate actively. Then what is the Senate voting on right now? What are the 12 different things that the Senate is currently negotiating right now in Congress?
I run a business. I don't have time to pay too much attention to what Congress is doing at every minute of the day.
Neither do I, but I have these things called news alerts.
I mean,
have you heard of those before?
Like, okay, what is that supposed to mean for me? Like, obviously, I'm taking advantage of everything that the U.S. is having to offer, and you're crying because you haven't yet found success like this. It sounds like you're one of the people who are more so advocating out of personal belief and emotion rather than true facts.
And that, sir, is what we call an ad hominem.
Okay. And how so?
How so? Because you still haven't said anything to refute my argument, right? When I asked you specifically.
I did, actually.
So when you just said, I don't know, I have a job, and then you went into, I have a job and I'm successful, unlike you, that's an ad hominem because you were unable to actually accurately in any way, shape, or form come up with your own counter argument to what the question that I asked you, right? So if we actually look at what the Senate is doing right now, they're voting on about 12 different budget bills just for the fiscal year 2026. So when we're talking about the big beautiful bill, when we're talking about the big beautiful bill, when we're talking about the big beautiful bill, right, that wasn't included. That was not included. that was not included in the big beautiful bill, right? So while you say that so that's why I said you were inherently wrong from the start when you said that that's the budget for the next 10 years. No, sir, it's not. It's not even a spending bill for the next 10 years because they're going to have to continue to vote on these actions on what they're going to spend every single year because that's how a fiscal year works. Do you happen to know what the government's fiscal year is?
Okay, so an annual year.
Do you happen to know what the government's fiscal year is? Yes or no?
Currently?
What is the government's
right now,
fiscal year? When does the fiscal year end?
Right.
Maybe that's an easier question for you.
What is it, January 20th? Or
Wrong.
January 6th? Okay, so I mean, what does that have to do with anything? You're arguing that Trump's a bad president for what? You haven't given me any true facts. All you're trying to do is argue random points within the argument. And your laugh is crazy, like a hyena.
And there we go. It always comes out. It never fails. It never fails. If you don't,
I would believe that you're doing that intentionally.
No, that's just my laugh. I actually have about a different one. Do you want to hear the witch laugh? Do you want to hear the witchy laugh?
I mean, I would assume it's also just...
Actually, that was a horse. I don't know what that was. That was not my witch laugh. Is that like, are you somewhat offended like that I can make different laughs and sounds like, and yeah, Sky Cloud is absolutely right. You can just say you don't know, because it's okay not to know everything. Sky Cloud, you're 100% right. No, you didn't. You're like, January 1st?
What is it, January 6th? Is that not what I said? I don't know. January
I don't
6th,
know by
matter?
itself is
said?
the answer.
Oh, you just
I don't know,
listen now.
period. I don't know, period. Would have been the answer. You said, I don't know, January 6th, January 1st, and I said wrong. I didn't even like attack you on it. I just said one word, right? Because one word can be a complete sentence. I said wrong. And then you didn't ask me, what is it? You went to, oh no, yeah, it doesn't matter because of this, X, Y, and Z. And then you went to saying that when I laughed, I did. You just don't, dude, your gaslighting is actually really bad. You are actually no. Okay, so let me be clear with you. Okay, it's fine. I got this. No worries at all. No worries at all. You're actually not arguing any facts. You haven't said much of anything that's actually factual. So if we look at the spending of the big beautiful bill for one, like you're already wrong to start off with it, right? While it's a spending bill, it's not a budgetary bill because that's actually what you said, and it's a spending bill that's going to have to continue to be voted on and approved every single year because that's how it works. They can't just do a 10-year budget, right? Because that's not how it works at all. You can do it when it's going to a specific, like it's being designated specifically like the infrastructure bill, and then that you can consider that doesn't have to be continuing to vote on every single year because it's going to a specific source, right? This one, because it's going to multiple sources, multiple designations, and it was primarily supposed to be a tax bill, right? That's primarily what it was. The biggest thing about it is that it's changing the tax code because that's what people remember, okay? And so with that, again, that everything else aside from the tax cuts, right, is going to have to be re-reviewed on what they send out in a month or in every single year is going to have to be re-reviewed because again, we have government budgets that change. The government budget has to be updated and reapplied and voted on by Congress every single year for the upcoming fiscal year. So I'm going to help you out with something here. The government's fiscal year is October 1st through September 30th. So when I'm talking about the 2026 budget, according to the government of the United States, that starts on October 1, 2025. Okay? And thank you, Chris, for the $2 on the Green app. I do appreciate you so much for that. So I like you. When you want to say something and you want to come up acting like you know something, I would advise you doing just a little bit of research prior to doing exactly what you're doing right now, okay? And I don't mean that poorly. I just wish that if someone was going to bring up a budget, they would actually be somewhat educated on it to at least the tiniest little bit. You have not proven your education on any of this. Okay, they don't know what a straw man is, Greg. And honestly,
and you won't answer any questions, right? Over
okay.
what term is the
So yeah, they
term is
probably
the
do, Andrea. They probably do, and it's okay. Like they think that it's okay, but we're not doing this, okay? Someone's just gonna have to let me know if he says something that you shouldn't say, because yeah. I can't even hear him right now. Anyways, so when it comes to the big beautiful bill, there are multifaceted issues with it. Again, it's going to add at least $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years. I don't agree with the fact that the big beautiful bill is talking about cutting $1 trillion alone just from the committee that oversees Medicaid, SNAP, and EBT benefits for the entire country, right? And we already know that within Medicaid, right, they only have at most 1%, right? 1 to 3% of fraud within that system, okay? Right? So that's all we have. So if we know what the budget was for 2023 was $880 billion, right? 1% of $880 billion is only $8.8 billion, right? And this, so it's $1 trillion over 10 years. That's $100 billion every single year. If there's only $8.8 billion worth of fraud, why on earth are we cutting an additional $91.2 billion a year from that program?
That you're alleging isn't happening, that is happening. How about that?
No, I'm asking you a question. I asked you a question. Are you able to answer it?
You haven't answered any of the questions that I've asked you. You just continue to talk and rant.
It's because you also haven't answered anything that I was asking you. You literally pivoted. You didn't even know anything. You didn't know any. I asked you many questions that you didn't answer. So what I went ahead and did, is I just went into an educational spiel because these are things that I feel like everybody should know.
Entire tirade that was nonsense.
I went into an educational spiel that apparently went over your head.
Listen, how many years?
Oh, okay.
Code right now.
Got it. I don't have to, Jaden. Just saying. Towelman, I wish I knew. Why can't Trump supporters just listen? Why can't they admit that they don't know stuff? I don't know. I honestly will say it every time. If I don't know something, I will actually say, I don't know. I put it out there. I don't know, because I don't know everything. And I'm not afraid to say when I'm not aware of something. Unlike most people, I actually went through a good portion of the 330 final iteration of HR 1. I actually read through that. Not all of it, but I read through the most of it. I think when it was just the Senate version, it was 880 something pages. I got through 560 pages of it. Oh, phone lines are back open, by the way. That's funny, Taylor. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi, how old are you? Taking too long. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
25.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
Okay. What's your main reason for why you still support Trump?
I believe that he's going to take the country in a direction where the economy is going to be revitalized, and then we're going to have a better economic outcome with him rather than the other option we have. Because sadly, we only had two options.
I didn't ask you why you voted for Trump. I asked you why you still support him. So what I understand for why you still support him is just for a hope for something to occur in the future. Is that correct?
No. It's
Okay.
not correct. Because,
Okay, so then why do you still support him?
it's because of the actions he's taking right now.
Be very specific. What do you mean?
So, I agree with generally 90% of the policy positions he's taken. So we can talk about any of them really, and I'll probably agree with most of them. For example, being very strong on illegal immigration and the deportations, I agree with that. I don't know what your feelings are about that.
I agree that if someone is here illegally, they should be deported. I just wish we were going through more humane ways of doing it and actually looking at it more on a case-by-case basis than the way that we're just picking up people that are actually going through the legal process, right? So we have cases, multiple cases already, of individuals being picked up on their way to or leaving immigration court, which means that they were actually going through the legal and proper channels that are required within the country that are allotted for immigrants to go through. And that's the part that I don't agree with, that we're just blanketly deporting anybody who's here regardless of their actual status.
I see what you're saying, and I would agree with you, but I would also have a slight disagreement because I don't really find an issue with us completely shutting down immigration. Even if they came here for asylum or anything, I have no issue with them just kicking them out. Like, I personally don't care.
Yeah, I understand most people don't care about other people living here that actually that try to come here for the, quote, American dream that hasn't existed in the society for a long time.
Yeah, like, it's kind of just a difference of opinions, right? Like, you're probably a really good person, so you want people to come here and have opportunities. I agree with you on that. It'd be wonderful, but I just feel like, you know, I see a lot of Americans struggling. I think if we just shut down immigration for 30 years and we only brought in people that had merits and actual skills and talents that could contribute to us building a better society, and they actually had real talents that could be put to use, and maybe they could, you know, earn money in our economy and pay taxes, I think then yeah. But I don't think we need low-skill labor. I think robotics is going to replace a majority of low-skill jobs, so by bringing in more people like that, it's just going to be burdensome to our economy. And I mean, I know this is something we might not agree on.
Yeah, because so are you promoting a class-based system?
I am against what they are trying to do to us, and because they are trying to build a very large, impoverished serf class. They want a low, like a peasant class, and I don't. And they want the poor to get poor. They want and the middle class to shrink into nothing.
Who is they?
The globalists, the people that push globalism, the people that are moving us towards the technocracy. Unfortunately.
Okay, so let me try this again, because again, you didn't answer my question. Are you supporting a class-based system then?
What does that mean? Because I'm not trying to be dumb, but like a class, everything is class-based. You know, there's always different classes in any society. Every society has different castes. So there's never been a society on Earth where there wasn't like a hierarchical structure, ever. So like, what do you mean like support it? I don't support a bunch of poor people, and then a couple rich guys deciding what the poor people do, and you know, us having a low standard of living while all the wealth is hoarded by the top. No, I don't support that.
Then what? Okay. So let's be clear. You are supporting a class-based system strictly for immigration then. Is that what you're saying?
I think that as a sovereign country, any country has the right to deny immigration for whatever reason. Especially
That's not what I asked. Okay. You already explained your position on immigration and what you believe. So
Yeah.
now I'm trying to see if you're also on the same understanding, and I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. So when it comes strictly to immigration, you only support a class-based system.
See, I don't know what that means. I'm trying to answer your question, but like, what do you mean? Do I support? Like, what's a class-based system in terms of immigration? Like, certain countries are not allowed to come here, or like immigrants are treated as a lower class. Is that what you think I support?
Yeah, you're the one who called them poor people, and then that we should only have people that are contributing members to society.
Well, I would say that relative to America, most of the world is relatively poorer than America, right? So
if you're basing it just off of GDP, yes, but that's also inherently not true.
Well, the point is there's like manual labor jobs in Africa where, you work 8 hours a day, a very tough job, like there's one job where they swim to the bottom of a lake and they pick up copper, and over the whole day they make $13 for 8 hours of work. So like a guy like that, he is poor economically, and I would love for him to come to America and have a better life. I think that's the best thing to do. I think that eventually the world is going to grow, and maybe he'll be able to have a great life, comparable to what Americans live in the future if we keep innovating. But I don't think letting everybody into America is going to help us. I think it's a wonderful mission, and it's a wonderful goal, but I just don't see it benefiting us. And also, I do like other positions Trump has. Like, I like his stance on
No,
abortion.
can you not? Let's not pivot away from immigration, because I think you're missing something. So now you are contradicting yourself, right? Because originally what you said is that you want people that are going to be innovative coming into this country. You don't want the lower individuals coming in, like the lower middle class individuals.
I wouldn't call them lower.
No, I'm not. I'm using this word to try to help you and explain to you why I'm saying that you are supporting a class-based only position of immigration.
I am supportive of a skill-based applicant criteria for people trying to immigrate to the country.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever worked a manual labor job?
I have.
Have you ever worked in a field?
I have, actually, yeah.
Have you ever worked on a tobacco farm?
No, a weed farm. But, no, not a tobacco farm. It's similar.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's a hemp farm. It's a plant. The trees are 6 feet tall. It's a lot of work. Irrigation, manual labor. I'm very familiar, but I also do white-collar work now. So it's, I'm in sales now.
Yeah, it's not. It's
and
not
AI.
similar
I work
at
in
all.
AI.
It's not similar at all. Good for you. I'm sure you do. Okay, so I just want to be clear. You only want people to come into this country if they can already prove to anybody that they can specifically work higher industry jobs. You don't want them to, I don't know, you actually want them to take higher positioning jobs?
Well, yeah, I would love that. So what's really interesting is a lot of...
So now are we actually doing the immigrants are taking our jobs? Is that when we actually have, like, from a South Park episode, they took our jobs? Is that what we're actually doing now?
Well, you can't say that they don't take our jobs, because the Democrats literally say, who's going to clean our hotels and who's going to mow our lawns? These people do valuable things.
I've never said that, which is also why I'm not a Democrat. No, they actually do contribute to our society, considering they paid in a large amount of money since they've been here into Social Security when they have ITINs, right? That they don't even get to receive any of it back unless they become United States citizens. So I find it very interesting.
So, like, for example, if you were to make a system where people were allowed in based on their merit, it doesn't just have to be like, hey, they're a doctor so they can come in and everybody else is screwed. It could be something as simple as, hey, are you somebody with a higher IQ baseline? You take an IQ test. Okay, well, America really needs engineers, and we will subsidize you. Even this could be great for people. This could save so many people's families and improve wealth across the world if you just give these people the opportunity to get an education in America, go through a good educational system, and then contribute to our society. I think that's an amazing thing. I think that they'll probably send money back home to their families, and hopefully that improves their family's life too. I come from an immigrant family, so I think about this whole thing a lot. So I hope you don't think I'm just talking out of my ass, but
You are.
I come from a background. Well, I didn't say you talk out of your ass, so I don't appreciate that. I think I'm very.
I'm only
I
responding
think
to
I really
you
put a lot of
mentioning it
thought.
in the first place.
I know, but I think I have a good
Yeah,
perspective on
we
this
already
because I actually
exactly.
am an
Not
immigrant.
not another one is correct. H-1B visas already do that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
you said you come from an immigrant family, not that you are an immigrant. So which one is it? There are two different things.
My father came here from Iraq.
Got you. So you're first generation.
Yeah, my whole family speaks Arabic and Aramaic. They don't speak much English, most of them. I don't have any family on my mom's side, so mostly an immigrant upbringing in an immigrant community,
Literally,
Iraqi
they're
community.
immigrants.
But I think I can't see your beautiful face right now. I before I called you, I've seen that you were very beautiful. I can only hear you on the phone right now. I would love to do like a live camera thing. Maybe you would agree with me more if you could like see me articulate my thoughts. I don't know. Maybe it's just coming across wrong because you can't see the bigger picture or something. But it's there's so much other stuff too. Like I get that the immigration is a very divisive issue. I'm probably not going to agree with you. It sounds like you do have a big heart for people that are honestly, a majority of these people are great people. I don't agree when Trump says they're sending their worst and this and that. I didn't agree with all that stuff. I thought it was out of line, and I thought it was prejudicial. And I'm not saying Trump is not prejudicial. I'm not saying that he's not. I don't know what he is. I don't trust really any guy that's that rich. Let me be honest with you. Okay, I don't trust anybody that's that rich. But you asked me who I voted for and who I support, and if I support his vision for the country, and I do, because he's a populist leader and he's fighting, for certain things that I agree with, and he's kind of bringing the country together in a way, because like even on issue like this, another one I wanted to mention. I don't know what your stance is on abortion, but a majority of women, they are more so towards pro-choice, rightfully so, and there's a big divide in the country over the abortion argument. And personally, I think that the conservatives are a little too extreme by saying, hey, no abortions, even no matter what, and then they want to ban contraceptives and all this stuff. And I think that Trump's position on that is actually valid. I think I don't know if you're familiar with his position on abortion. I mean, he's very grounded on that. He's all for women having the right to, make that choice up to a certain point. You can't do it, maybe 3 months in, 4 months in, but hey, 2 months in, you a month in, you just found out, okay, like I get it, it makes sense. And not everybody can have a kid, and we don't want to, it could ruin lives. Some people can't handle it, especially in today's world. We live in a different world today than we ever did before. So I don't know. I mean, you could talk about things I disagree with Trump on if you want. Hello? Oh, I can't hear nothing. Hello?
I can't believe this.
Oh, wait, I just pulled the stream back up and I see you roasted me.
I'm not doing anything. I just sat back and put on mute.
You're roasting me.
I just sat back
Hey,
and
you're
put on mute.
beautiful. Did I leave you speechless?
No.
No. Well, why are they saying to drop me in the chat? Are they just haters? What is it?
It's pretty bad when, 1 second, TikTok. It's pretty bad when YouTube agrees. It's pretty bad when YouTube is all on the same page.
So is this where our love story ends?
You thought this was a love story?
I thought I was gonna convince you to vote for Trump, and then we were gonna go out on a date.
Hey, babe.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, he went upstairs.
Oh, thank God. All right, he's gone.
He's not even listening to this. I just like.
I didn't know you had a man. I didn't know all that. I guess it's not meant to be, right? It's not meant to be. But you know, I am having fun debating you.
This isn't a debate. It's a conversation.
I'm having fun with this conversation. Do you have anything to say to me? It seems like I got you nervous, like cat got your tongue or something.
No. So what I like to let people do is back themselves into the corner where they basically have just hung themselves, and that's on TikTok, educational purposes only. Sorry, you're so sensitive. No, I just let people back themselves into a corner. That's all.
So you got me right where you want me, right? That's what you're telling me?
No, it's just you're just kind of making a fool out of yourself. That's all.
I don't know. You're not really engaging with the discussion that we were having. It's like you just kind of went mute.
The discussion was lost when you went down like this weird. Oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Which I mean, thanks. I know.
Yeah, I mean, damn. I mean, I guess I must have got you real. I mean, flustered or something when you got that compliment. You heard my voice and you said, "Wow, this guy is complimenting me. He sounds really, really awesome."
Not even.
And you just were. I mean, hey. I mean, I've been around the block. I know chemistry when I feel it. Right. I can almost hear it through the phone. I can feel it. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to weird you out. I get that. This is probably not something that happens to you a lot on stream. Most guys are probably scared to tell you, but yeah, I just thought you were beautiful. I wanted to let you know that. You know, just so we could build some rapport before I, destroyed you in a debate about Trump. But I mean, if you don't want to debate me anymore, it's okay. I mean, you don't want to have a conversation, it's okay. I'm not mad at you.
It's all right. My boyfriend literally just laughed his ass off at me telling him that someone just would not stop just going on. So.
Yeah. So, I don't know what you're gonna say next about Trump, but.
Here's what I'll say to you, okay? I don't know where Trump stands on abortion. He also certainly hasn't done shit during this time and while he was in office. And while he took credit for the final decision of Roe v. Wade based off of the conservative judges that he appointed or recommended and then were put in place by congressional committees. He took credit for it, but it didn't even happen under his administration, which means he kind of actually failed to even get it to happen under his first term. And even then, like, again, when he was on the debate stage, when he was campaigning and everything, he couldn't stay on point for what his actual decision was or where he actually stood on abortion. He said he was going to vote for which one was it? Amendment 4 in Florida, which would have removed the 6-week restrictive law that is actively in place here. And then because he got called out by other people, he said, no, maybe not. I guess I won't. Right. And so, like, when it comes to saying, his stance on abortion, I don't even know what that is. Honestly, he keeps changing it. He said something completely different in 2016 when he sat down with Chris Matthews and had a whole conversation with him. So I mean, like.
So you're saying that it's good for politicians to have ironclad stances that don't change? You saying it's wrong that his stance changed?
No, I'm just saying it's weird that change in a short period of time. He said multiple different in less than a year, for it to constantly change, go back and forth.
Fine. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because the reason why is because in a democracy, the person that we elect is simply a representative of the people. So we are electing our leaders, and they are
this guy ain't get
no nookie. So by him changing his stance on abortion to being less in line with the conservatives, and him taking some heat for that, and him kind of teeter-tottering on that fine line, that's not him being a bad leader or a bad president or a bad politician. It's actually him doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing something that it's going to gain him popularity, but it's good for him to do things that gain him popularity, because if it's popular, that means that the people that voted for him and that are supposed to be deciding what goes on in this country, because this is our country, I think it's good if he's kind of trying to make everybody happy. I don't see a problem with that. I don't expect him to I don't care if his opinion is nobody should have an abortion, but
that would be called pandering, sir. That would actually fall.
It's his job. If he just did what he wanted to do, it's not a democracy anymore. He's supposed to do what his base wants him to do. He's supposed to go with what the majority of the people want, and try to find a solution that makes everybody as happy and leads this country in a positive direction. So what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to say, screw you guys, because it's such a polarizing issue? It's literally an issue that has so much emotions behind it.
Stand on your convictions 10 toes down. That's what we should want out of any politician, okay? If we're going to say, hey, I support abortion up to 12 weeks, then you leave it at I support abortion up to 12 weeks while you're on the campaign trail. You don't let somebody potentially withholding, I don't know, $100,000 from your campaign for you to change your stance. At that point, it's literally saying that he can be bought, right? So that's what I'm hearing that.
You don't know that, though. You don't know it was bought. You know what the truth is? I think he was bought on other things. I think maybe he was bought on Israel. I don't think he was bought by the lobby for abortion. I think that maybe he receives money from both sides and he likes that, whatever. But I truly think that the reason he made that move was really to win the election. It wasn't just to make more money, because him taking that stance brought a lot of voters from the other side. It brought a lot of moderates to him. There was a lot of women that voted for him as a result of his opinions on various issues that they agreed with, that he made concessions on, that normally the conservative party would not make concessions on. And he took a lot of heat from it, from both sides. So I don't know what is wrong with that. I mean, hey, to each their own, right?
Yeah, so he has no morals and no ethics. Got it. Listen,
Well,
I'm gonna be honest with you. So I also can't support anybody that talks about doing a class-based picking system for our immigration, because I know that we have a low fertility rate. We have a low birth rate in the United States of America, which, by the way, guys, that's not a United States only issue. This is actually a global issue. It's not just a U.S. issue. It is a global issue. So allowing people to come into the United States of America and then therefore pad up our workforce, regardless of what jobs that they're actually taking, right, or what jobs they're actually working, is what we actually need in order to keep our Social Security and our Medicaid, Medicare funded for the next 10, 20 years, because we all know it takes 18 years for a baby to become an adult, right? And it's typically, depending on what state you're in, the earliest age that you can work in is about 14, 16 in some states, because they're more restrictive, right? So if we want people to start popping out babies, right, then we have to do something to cover us for the next, at minimum, 14 years, and then that would actually be immigration.
Do you know how ludicrous it is to say that as a country we should allow more immigration so that we can have a population boom? Because the issue is...
No, it's so we can have a workforce. So based off, prior to the update of this recent jobs report, let's try this. So we'll go back to June, okay? June of 2025. Do you know how many jobs were available on the public market?
No, I don't. I'm sure you have it right in front of you, though.
I don't have it pulled up. I just memorized numbers. 7.7 million jobs were available in June of 2025. Now, we add an unemployment rate of 4.2%. Do you know what that amount was that of available workers to fill that 7.7 million jobs would be?
I would say like 12 million, right?
No. 7.2 million, which means we are in a net negative when it comes to the available workforce and the availability of jobs. So we actually do need to import workers in a way. Like, I don't even like that word, but we actually do need to bring in workers to fill the jobs that are wide open, right? Because we are in a net negative of our jobs versus available workers.
Wages, though, for everybody. That leads to more competition in the labor market, and it leads to wage stagnation or dropping.
No, actually, competition in the labor market is what spurs wage growth.
Not the type of competition. No, it doesn't.
Oh gosh.
It's basic supply and demand. If you have a greater supply of something, the competition for that thing becomes higher, and then as such, they start lowering the wages to compete for those same positions. You understand?
No. Have a good one, man. Thanks for calling the stream. Okay, that's fine too. That's not how it works. Okay, Jocular, sorry. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump, but I don't support Trump.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. I am mostly just looking for people that still support him.
Oh, that still support him. I mean, I voted for him for RFK and Elon Musk. But I mean...
That's all right, man. I do appreciate you, though. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
How old are you?
How's it going? I'm 33.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I was reading a chat real quick. Thank you, Jocular, for the 20. I don't know where I fall, but I can do something many people can't. There is real legal argument for abortion as a right with quickening laws. My morals are aligned with my faith, but I can still make legal argument for it. So, Jocular, I actually don't even believe that... I agree with everyone having their own personal religious beliefs. That's fine. I think you understand that my belief on that is your personal religious beliefs apply to you and you alone. And I don't think that they should ever be pressed on another individual. And so that's why I say I don't think that they should be influencing our laws in that degree to that specificity. Okay. Caller, why is it that you still support Trump?
Sure. So, I mean, before we talk policy, I just want to clarify. Do you think it's important that we understand that, not everyone who supports Trump does it for the same reasons? For me, specifically, it's policy over personality, right? I'm not even really a fan of his rhetoric, but I do support Trump as my president. And some of the core reasons why I support him is for his economic realignment for the working class. He's got the lowest Black Hispanic unemployment ever recorded pre-COVID. Wage growth was strongest among 25% during 2017 to 19. Tax cuts and Job Act boosted small businesses, increased take-home pay, and his tariffs and trade reform, which forced China to come to the table. And we kind of are getting somewhere with China on the business side. And I'm not a globalist. I would actually kind of describe myself as a nationalist, which I know usually has a negative connotation, but in my reasoning or my definition of it, it isn't. His border security and just kind of his whole immigration objective Now we can debate the execution, and some I probably would be able to agree on, and but I do think that it was a necessary. It's a necessary step that America has to take, um, and his foreign policy. I think I'm not overly fond of Palestine, but I also do know that uh, he has, with the Abraham Accords, he's got peace between Israel and Saudis and a lot of the UAE, right? He hasn't really started any new wars. I know we're kind of teetering on that as well, but and he hasn't ended it, but we still got some years left to go. And he also forced NATO to like step up their contributions because America's number one export is debt, and we spend a lot of our tax money on other countries and um, not on our own people and our own infrastructure. But I believe that sentiment is changing. So that's just a few reasons.
Okay. So that is what we would call a gish gallop when you list a bunch of things that you expect somebody to remember, but it's okay. So I want to touch on the unemployment rate. You believe that are we just looking at pre-COVID? We're not acknowledging what occurred after Donald Trump left presidency?
Well, based off of the conversation you've been having, it's just as of today, right? Like, just
right.
Trump. And, yeah.
Well, no, I mean you're the one that brought up Black and Hispanic unemployment under Donald Trump, correct?
Right.
So you are aware that under the Biden administration, it actually did beat Trump's numbers, correct?
I think it would be well.
Are you aware that they beat Trump's numbers? Yes or no? No, you
No,
are the one that brought. Let's be clear. You brought up unemployment rate under Trump's first administration. So now when you do that, yes, I get to look at the previous administration, right? Because you specifically said you still support Trump because of what happened under his first administration. So now I get to address the fact that, again, the Biden administration's numbers beat the unemployment rate specifically for Black and Hispanic workers that Trump had. You're aware?
That could also have been carried on from the policies from Trump, right? If you're in a if Trump, for example.
Oh, okay. So Trump gets the credit for something that happened in 2023.
No, I'm saying if, for example, if Trump
what policy would have actually done that under Trump?
During, first of all, with when he actually had the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, right, which he boosted small businesses, right, and increased take-home pay, right. Then you also have, as of this current administration, a lot of his incentives about no taxation on tips, right, and other forms of incentives. I believe he increased the child earned income credit, right? Like those things put money into the our society, our working class society, right? And I mean he has also cut taxes on major corporations, but that also incentivizes for R&D. It promotes R&D. It promotes, because we need these big businesses to succeed. We need everything in America to succeed, right? Every administration that succeeds is a benefit to the American people, right? So actively trying to subvert any of our government systems is also, in a way, a subversion of the American society as a whole, in my opinion. So my thing is, like I was trying to explain, is that if during Trump's presidency, if he had set a thing in motion, like in regards to the unemployment, and then once he, Biden ended up taking over, it's still, that trajectory was still going down. In fact, it was probably a good thing that Biden. I mean, because there's a lot of things that Biden also kind of did ruin. Immigration, war, right? The whole.
I'm gonna help you
withdrawal.
out here, because once again, unfortunately your argument is a little bit all over the place. So if your only thing that you have to go off of what happened under Trump's presidency is the TCJA, then I'm going to give you the Infrastructure and Jobs Act. And I'm also going to give you the Chips and Science Act. Did more. Both of them were passed in the first 2 years of Biden's administration. You also have the Inflation Reduction Act, which also increased job growth in solar, right? And third party, in basically green energy movements also were spurned on with that as well. So when we're looking at RJ, send your heart me, thank you. When we're looking at the unemployment rate for Black Americans and Hispanic Americans, and we see that in April of 2023, right, a year after the Infrastructure and Jobs Act that was passed, it hits a 4.6. Right? Whereas under the Trump administration, the low was 4.9 in November of 2019, almost 2 years after the passing of the TCJA. I'm just, and of course, for some reason, Fred won't let me look at this other bottom number if I remember correctly, and I don't want to be wrong. It was like 4.8 or 4.8 or 4.7. Again,
No.
like twice under Biden. So you want to say that, right? But even then, you don't actually have proof that that did cause it. What we do know for, in fact, that the main thing that Donald Trump did under his first administration is he kept all of Obama's economic policies in place. So if you want to make that argument for Biden, then I'm going to make that argument under Trump and say that thanks, Obama.
Right, but I'm not also debating, Trump versus Biden. I'm only here to debate why I support Trump, right? I'm not saying I'm not anti-Biden. I'm not even anti-Democrat. I'm just literally I'm pro-American.
No, but
So
you also just tried to give Biden's unemployment numbers credit for Biden's unemployment numbers to Donald Trump. So, and you only brought up one singular economic policy under his first administration that was enacted, whereas I can bring up two under Biden's administration off the cuff. Actually, I brought up three off the cuff. So you can only point to one specific economic policy under Trump, where I can point to three specific economic policies under Biden's administration versus Trump's first. So therefore, I would argue that if you want to give Trump credit for Biden beating Trump's unemployment record, not once, but twice, then I'm going to give credit to Obama, who under 8 years, of course, did way more than Trump ever did in his 4 years in office. So if you want to give Biden's numbers to Trump, cool. Trump's numbers go to Obama.
I mean, but I gave one example, but there's multiple
you only
he has implemented.
What else? What else? What else did he implement? What else did he implement?
Regulation blitz, where he cut a whole lot of federal regulations, pro-work welfare reform initiatives. There's a lot of things he's done, trade and manufacturing policies.
Oh, you mean his executive orders that don't actually go down to further? Oh, you mean with the USMCA that he says is the worst deal that was ever signed and he didn't know who signed it, but then we find out again that it was actually signed by Donald Trump? You mean that deal?
Yeah.
The deal that he said that only an idiot would sign?
So to be fair, I don't recall that, and I mean, if we're just gonna take each other's words on things, I'm only telling you from my experience and my daily quality of life, right? What I think is a good. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that, I'm not a politician. I'm just a guy, a blue collar worker myself, right? I work as a mechanic. I'm just saying what I think works for me, and if I happen to be mistaken on some things, then I'm open to being, informed. I don't try to operate on ignorance. But I also don't think that assuming that if you say that Trump has done absolutely nothing
I didn't say
positive
that.
for the United, okay, so those things that, in your opinion, and I won't, I know this is your stream, so you get to ask the questions. But if the things that you would agree that Trump has done well on are those things are what I support him for, right? So I'm not. I think every administration has pros and pros and cons, right? And like if the topic is let's just discuss the cons of said administration, then yeah, it's hard to kind of like I'm not going to try to rationalize the negatives, but I will like say that I believe the positives outweigh those negatives, and you're going to have both. The duality of life is that you are going to have both, no matter what administration you get, you know, and that like I'm pro Trump for those reasons, right? I also big thing is taking on the administrative state, which I also don't think he's done good enough job, right? But I think deregulation is a big part of that, right? And I think that we also need to get a lot more policies that kind of influence or give more control to the general public over Congress. Like I'm a congressional term limit guy. Like I believe we should have term limits. There's a lot of things that still need to be changed, but and I don't want to continue rambling on because last time I did that I do have that tendency, so I'll stop and we can stop.
So you think all deregulation is good?
No, I don't deal in absolutes, right? So I think there are things that need to be regulated, and I think that I also do believe that we institute regulations that what's the saying? It's easier to make a law than it is to remove one, right? And if we continuously add a bunch of red tape and never kind of like mow the grass after once in a while, it gets out of control, right? And I think there needs to be a balancing act in regulation, right? I've seen the effects of OSHA firsthand. I'm totally pro OSHA, right? I'm not a real estate developer or anything like that, or but I'm not really big into the knowledgeable on like environmental regulations, but I do know that there are some. I live on a coastal city where fishing is a major it's a major money it's an import for us. I mean export. So for us, if you have our seas, for example, being overly regulated, it prevents business, and then you're starting to get you're having to import stuff that we have here, like oil, for example. The Permian Basin in the southwest of the United States is chock full of oil, yet we import a shit ton at a high rate of cost, and that affects everybody at the gas pump, right? So I think if we had, like I said, a balancing act. I'm not saying we need to just go like blow up New Mexico and take all the oil out of the ground, but if you have it where we are getting the benefits of our natural resources, right? And those, we're essentially funneling those resources into the pockets of the American taxpayer. I think that's a good thing.
Cool. Can you tell me at least one deregulation that Donald Trump did in his first term?
Regulation that he did on his first term?
Deregulation, because you talked about deregulation.
Well, the oil, natural gas, the Exxon, Marathon were able. I was living in New Mexico at the time, actually, so I had friends themselves that were roughnecks, worked in the oil fields, and I'd seen the boom that happened in South New Mexico at that time during the deregulation during Trump's first presidency, and put a lot of money in people's pockets.
Yeah, what specifically was that regulation, though? It was extremely specific.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay.
I
So
know that
here,
I know that deregulation took place though. Like
it
I just don't know
it
like the
did,
bill
and
or
it was very specific regulation that occurred under the Obama administration, taking into ideas our environment, and our health, right? Our health and safety. So basically, what it was is it was to limit the number of greenhouse gas emissions that were coming out of power plants and other plants around the United States. So when you're saying that Donald Trump did good deregulation, what you're really telling me is that he gave full permission for companies to poison our air.
I don't have the data, but like I would say that could be a talking point more than a reality. And like you know, we have to have the data on the, you know, the parts per million in the atmosphere. Like I don't have that data. So, but I definitely know for a fact that blue collar people were making a lot more money.
I really don't care about your anecdotal stories, because there's
I
also
mean, it's
no
reality,
evidence. So what I did is I went ahead and pulled up a list of all of his deregulations that he did within his first term, and there was actually nothing about oil and natural gas. It was a specific. The one I'm talking about is called the Clean Power Plan, which was again put in under Obama's administration in 2015. He overturned the Clean Power Plan, which again was protecting our air from continuing to poison us and then break up the ozone in our atmosphere.
I mean, there's, as long as we rely on natural gas, like there's gonna be contamination.
Yeah, Donald Trump wants to bring back coal, which we got off of a long time ago, because we know it was making people sick, and coal mining is extremely dangerous. Do you look at how many mines collapsed just in the state of Pennsylvania, sir? And how many people died as a result on it. We still use coal, that is correct, but we just minimize the amount that we use.
I also, so here's the thing, right? Let's go back to the question, right? Why I support Trump. You don't support Trump, I do, right? And I support Trump because it puts money into the pockets of American citizens. He seeks to improve America. He's also going into, speaking of energy, he's also pro-nuclear energy, and which I believe is the future of energy. We have
nuclear runoff, guys. More poisoning. Thanks.
Nuclear is very clean. It's very clean.
Nuclear runoff. Clean.
And the only thing you have to worry about is the waste, which we have down in Carlsbad, New Mexico, the waste isolation pilot plant, which is responsible for disposing all nuclear waste. So.
Okay. All right. Have a good one, man. That was a lot of. Again, like, nuclear is very clean. And what did I just say? Nuclear runoff. And he's like, it's very clean. And then it brings up, like, how many times can you just walk right into the point? And yes, Chris, I don't agree with PBS Kids going out of business. And I don't know when you sent this another, and I'm sorry if I missed it earlier, but, that was probably under the other caller that was hitting on me. Yeah, that was a lot of word salad that I don't know how my, and yes, Bando, they did say the same thing about when it came to Chernobyl. Nuclear runoff. For the guy that just said that in the chat. Even the caller acknowledged that there's nuclear waste. Nuclear runoff. And the fact that now, because of all the deregulations, there's actually maps that have been updated that shows how polluted rivers are in the South right now. I'm in RFK hell. That's what I gotta say. Okay, well, this has been a very interesting trying all these other little things. Did I miss something? Let me see. No, I did not. Okay. All right. Okay. TikTok, stay around. Don't go anywhere. As far as it comes to YouTube, oh, sorry, TikTok, educational purposes only. Real quick, you TikTok, I'm gonna mute, but literally TikTokers, stay around. Hold on. YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and end it for the night. I've been on for 2 hours. That's always my amount of time that I stream. So I am going to go ahead and end it. I will be back on live tomorrow. If you want to make sure you know what time I'm getting on, join my Discord. I try to update everybody beforehand, but I'm going to start scheduling events. And then that way you know ahead of time what time I am going to be on because I'm scheduling the events. Make sure when you hit subscribe, you also turn on notifications because that's how you're going to know exactly when my events are scheduled, when my lives are scheduled. So that's how you do it, guys. That is how you do it. Make sure your notifications are on. If you actually want to see me, we'll just say it that way. Okay, I'm going off.